All right, so in Chapter 15, we learned about our ethical responsibility to the BACB. And I'm not going to go over every single item and every single code. You've got the code itself and you've got the book to go over that with you. But in quick summary, we know that Section 10 of the Professional Code goes over documentation and records, disclosures and reporting, timeliness of reporting, copyright, and knowledge of the code. And so there's a few things I want to bring your attention to. First of all, being documentation and recording and records. If you are going to be pursuing your BCBA certification, please take special note of the documentation, particularly that which is required for your field work. There is a completely separate document that you will learn about in your fieldwork experience that details that, but it's a really big deal. And it's a very tedious process. So please be sure that you understand that if you're going to be going forward with the BCBA certification, and if you have any support needs with that, let us know. The other item I wanted to talk to you about was disclosures and reporting, and I'm going to switch over here to the BACB website. All right. So on the BACB website, if you go to the ethics page, there's going to be this toolbar over here to the left-hand side, sorry, to the right-hand side, with all of the ethics requirements and codes and all their ethics newsletters. One of the things that I found in here, below the BACB ethics and compliance, is reporting to the ethics department. Now, there are procedures both for self-reporting and also for reporting another person that you see engaging in questionable activity. So if you need to, for example, do something as benign as changing your name or email address, there's procedures for that in there. And then, of course, if there's any need to report something, either an ethical concern or even the code is requiring that you report any citations or tickets that you get to the board, there is a place where you can report information about yourself as well. So it does provide reasons to self-report to the ethics department, and then it has very specific directions for how to self-report. So if you ever need to visit this page, I'll include the link in the slideshow for you. What is also helpful about this section is there is a visual to help you to understand what you might want to consider before actually making a report. So it has this little flow chart, and then it is an interactive flow chart. So you'll have questions and points in there where you can get some more information. But as you can tell, there's a fair amount of considerations that you need to make before making an ethical code violation, either for yourself or for somebody else. And I was trying to hover there for you. And then it will direct you. There are hyperlinks within this infographic for links that go directly to the document that this is coming from. So again, I thought this was really helpful, especially considering the codes 10.02 on reporting. Again, take your time in going through the ethics section of the BACB website. They've really done a lot in terms of trying to make this user-friendly, trying to make it something that you can easily navigate and get the information that you need, starting with the Professional Ethical Compliance Code for Behavior Analysts, as well as the RBT Ethics Code. Going into reporting, and then going through timeline issues, which is another issue brought up in Section 10. Talks about standards for code enforcement. And then anything that happens with types of sanctions and reporting requirements for sanctions. So again, take your time to go through this, particularly with regard to Section 10, just so you know your responsibility. As is discussed, in, I'm going to go back to my slideshow here, as is discussed in the book itself, knowledge of the code is a requirement of our ethical responsibility. So claiming ignorance is not going to relieve you of any responsibility should anything happen. So again, knowing your rights, knowing your obligations is extremely important with regard to the practice of behavior analysis. Finally, here's that link for you. If you have any further questions or you find anything interesting, of course, let me know, and I can post those in as supplemental materials for you.